Good morning. This is the video newsletter for buysellshort.com for Sunday, July 12th. Pretty boring and annoying week this past week. Typical of this time of year, summer doldrums. We did have some economic data that was slightly positive. Market didn't really react to it except for a downward bias, but we've got earnings season kicking off big time this week. We've got Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, IBM, and some other big stocks reporting their earnings this week. So let's see how this goes. The earnings season back in March is what really lit the market up. So let's see what happens this time around. Here we are on the 15-minute chart. We've been in this bullish falling wedge now for a month. One positive thing here on the 15-minute chart, you can see the 50-day moving average in this time frame has finally looks like it's bottomed out, stopped going down. Typically, we see this before the move upward begins. We're probably looking at a golden cross on the Dow 15-minute chart sometime Tuesday, Wednesday, which would coincide with Goldman Sachs earnings report, which in all likelihood is going to blow the doors off. They're going to report record earnings, and that might be the excuse, especially with options expiration next Friday, for them to jam us nicely higher. RSI in the 15-minute chart is peaking up above 50. Let's actually flip to the daily chart. Here you can see this bullish falling wedge that I was talking about. Last 3 days, market sort of treading water, not really wanting to go yet, waiting for the earnings news. As I mentioned on Thursday, we're just above the 38% Fibonacci retracement from the March lows. And in a bullish environment, the 38% Fib typically acts as strong support. So unless we get bad earnings news this week, I would be very surprised if we don't see at least a snapback rally to the 8,400 level. Flip over to the SMH. We had Goldman Sachs come out and upgrade a bunch of tech stocks late last week, which is a pretty bullish sign. Goldman Sachs, as we know, dominates the market. They run the world right now, and whenever they make a sector call, it usually implies some good upside in the coming quarter or two. And with them moving into tech stocks again, that's at least a bullish sign for us in the near term. Here we're looking at the daily chart on the SMH, bounce back off that uptrend line that's been in place. The action mirrors what we saw back in May before we saw the SMH go on a 15% move higher. So let's see if that happens again. One other thing to note on the SMH stochastics, albeit very slight, higher lows on the stochastic indicators, and this is saying that we should be setting up for a pop this week on the SMH. Right now, tech is the place to be, and of course, financials when we get that positive earnings news slash spin early this week. Oil down pretty big over the last couple of weeks. One positive from this, however, is gas prices are down about 15 to 20% at the pump, which is pretty good for the consumer. We were getting to a point where gas prices were edging up over $3 in some places in the West, and that was not good, especially in these early stages of the recovery from the recession. Set up here, we've got 38% Fib test now on oil, and let's see what happens on oil this week if we do see a bounce back. 62.50 would be the break. One thing to note, a lot of the oil stocks, the mid-cap oil stocks, over the last couple of days, with oil trading flat to down, have been bouncing. So the oil stocks, the funds are starting to move back into there. So that may be telling us that oil is about to pop here this week. Stock plays, MTSN. We were pretty patient on this one last week. Got an upgrade on Friday and a nice little spike. Hit our first target, $1.35 after the open on Friday. Sent out the alert. Book half gains on this one now, and you can trail your stops on the remaining half to break even, with next target a move to 140 to 150 on this stock. We have RSI up over 50. We had a positive MACD cross. We've got stochastics going up through 50. So this is definitely one high cash semiconductor play, trading under cash. And, if we do see the SMH breakout, this is the kind of play that should do very, very well. STSI has been treading water pretty good over the last week. It's been riding its 8-day moving average up. Would like to see this one bust out early this week. So if we have a nice pop in the market, this one should follow suit to $1.25. If we don't see that move this week, then we'll be looking to cut this play and just move on and reevaluate it down the road. We've given it a week now. We'll give it another half week or so, but market rally should set this one free. It's been trying to break out over the last 4 days, but the market has not been cooperating. So our next big update in the market should see this stock take off. ONT, nice spike on this one last week. Our chart is still consolidating for a breakout, so we're sitting on half positions here, waiting for the close above 42.5. SCMR, Sycamore Networks, tech stock with a massive cash balance. These guys are sitting on over $700 million in cash, $2.50 a share, no debt, and a chart that looks ready to break out. Breakout would be a close above 310. Would look to accumulate this one if you like this setup around 305. Your stops would be at $2.90. Target is 330 plus on this one. RSI is ready to break 50. Stochastics are oversold. And, if we get this tech/financial rally this week, this is definitely a stock that would participate in said rally. DPTR, our oil play. As I mentioned, even though oil has been red over the last couple of sessions, a lot of the oil stocks have been showing this kind of setup here, wanting to bottom and just waiting for an excuse to run. Any sort of pop in oil, and we'll see this one move at least back up to the 185 plus area, the 20-day exponential. As you can see, it's strayed about 10% plus from its 20-day exponential, and as you can go back, every time the stock has sold off, it's always bounced back to its 20-day exponential. If it's gone way above it, it's always retreated back to it. So time for another move back to the 20-day exponential this week. DSCO, it's still trying to find a bottom here. It's getting bashed left and right by traders at this stage of the game. After this big of a tank, what's the point in selling? We're going to trade this one out. We've seen this biotech tank set up many times before. Once we see a nice little up move and a white candle on this stock, it will be time to finish adding shares. Until it finds a bottom, we're just going to sit on this one and be patient. RSI nicely oversold. You guys know the drill. It sucks to be in this one, but we will make it all back with a little bit of patience. CTIC, this was a short play last week. Garbage, bloated, overvalued piece of crap biotech company that shouldn't be trading at this market cap. Looks about ready to roll over here. Probably a close under $1.20 will open the floodgates, and you'll just see this stock go swoosh. It's been treading water between $1.30 and $1.50, so you short $1.50, you cover 140 and under for 10 cents almost daily. Stops would be $1.70 on this one. Again, it's very manipulated, but medium-term target on this one is way under one. Just unbelievably overvalued in my opinion. So we're going into this week, not a whole lot of plays, but I've got an upward bias. As I said in the chat room on Friday, we're not jumping the gun and getting in early, even though there are a boatload of stocks that are flashing early buy signals on getting ready for a run. We will start chasing and adding them once we get confirmation of the bounce. We're going to miss some of the move, but we're being a little bit of showing a little bit of caution here. Nothing wrong with that at all. If the market does as we expect it to do this week, there will be many plays. So let's see how this first couple of days of the week turn out and the market's reactions to the earnings report. If it is as I think it'll be, we will see some very nice upside over the next couple of weeks. But we're not going to jump the gun until we see confirmation of that. That's it for the video. See you guys in the chat room tomorrow. Good night.